So, before we get underway, you may notice there's quite a bit of rested XP down here. So, I'll let you guys know that since the last part, there has been a bit of a gap of time that's passed since the last part. Mainly because, well, due to what has been going on with the coronavirus pandemic and such, Blizzard was nice enough to give many of us this buff, Winds of Wisdom, to make leveling characters go faster. So let's just say I've been busy working on other stuff during that time. What was the other thing I was going to say? Like, there were a couple things I was going to address before we continue. But I guess it's one of those things. So you'll probably see me go well past 20. Well past that by the time we're done here. Also, I'll get a new mount to show off since we are, of course, doing Shadow the rest of this time to go with this. But we have to get riding before we do that. We have to get to 20. So who is ready to hear me do a lot of reading? Because look at all the exclamation points in this area. There's quite a bit to pick up here. I'm also loving seeing... I can't help it. I just love seeing multiple players actually, like, playing characters, running around, doing stuff. Just to reinforce, you know, and... of course, to continue to prove wrong those people who say, "Oh, this game is dead. WoW is dead. Nobody plays this game." Yeah, clearly, nobody, not a single person, plays this game anymore. Wanted, Deathclaw, by order of Harbinger Mikolas, a bounty to be paid to the brave soul who returns with proof of the marauding bear Deathclaw's demise. Deathclaw should be considered extremely dangerous and is responsible for the killing of a survey team on the coast to the northwest of Bloodwatch. Travelers are advised to avoid the area.
The Naru have not forgotten.
Ayumiala? It's about time. I just about given up on finding you. There is an urgent message that is waiting for you at the mailbox. The person that gave it to me was a human admiral from Azure Mist, Admiral Odyssey. The name escapes me. He said that you would know who he was. I do. I know who he is.
Warm wishes to you.
Open immediately. Okay. Dear friend, my hand trembles as I ink this letter. I pray that it reaches you in time. Last night, Edward Haynes, captain of the ship Lost Hope, appeared before me in my tent, the same Edward Haynes that died of scurvy 20 years ago. This apparition told me a tale that made my heart tremble, a tale that I need you to hear, and a mission that I need you to accomplish. Will you do it? Will you seek out Edward on Wormscar Island, northeast of your base? Regards, Admiral Odysseus. Wow. Okay, then. Oops, turn around.
Kronakai Christor.
It is good to see another face here in the Bloodwatch Priest. Although the Blood Elves are the most immediate threat, there are other sinister creatures that call Blood Mist Isle home. The Nazivus Satyr are part of a particular concern. They are foul demonic creatures commanding dark magics and feeding on the corruption created by the Exodus crash. We must hold them in check, but first we must learn more about them. Go southwest to Nazavian. Gosh, why did these... some of these names. Nazavian, and learn what you can from their grotesque monuments.
Good health. Long life.
Also, I hope you're not getting tired of hearing my Draenei voice.
Warm wishes to you.
The black slit murlocs on the southwestern coast are curious creatures. In some ways, they act barely sentient, Yet in others, they show a remarkable degree of organization. I have a few theories about that, but no real way to test them until recently. I have devised a method that will allow me to track the murlocs that I am interested in, without doing any lasting harm or interfering with their natural behavior. If you're willing to help with the marking, I'll gladly pay you for your assistance. Do you think often of your family, Miala? There were a number of families aboard the Exodar, but I've heard of very few being reunited. I myself am looking for traces of my husband, Galen, who was a technician in the cryocore. The wreckage of it is located to the west, and it is swarming with blood elves. I must find out what became of Galen. Even news of his death is better than never knowing. My husband will be wearing a pendant identical to my own. They were a gift from my sister.
Be kind
course.
to those less fortunate.
Open your heart to the light.
About a week ago, my research team and I were out exploring the western wilds of Bloodmist when we were attacked by bloodthirsty spiders. Oh, why'd you have to tell me that? The effect of the crystal contamination was clearly evident as these spiders were massive and extremely aggressive. I'm going to punch you if you keep this up. I managed to escape, but my team was not so lucky. We must not let the same fate befall others. Go west to the Amberweb Pass and destroy the spiders and their matriarch, Zaraka. Why does she have a name? I don't know. Fine.
Dionys Haka.
There's always gotta be giant spiders.
Arcanon Poros.
The others look at this landscape and they see only death, corruption, and adversity. None of those things are in short supply, true, but that view ignores the opportunities presented by our environment. I will not stand by and watch these opportunities go ignored. Nord, priest, with your help, we can demonstrate to the others here at Bloodwatch just how to make use of the environment and its creatures. A good woodsman makes use of every available resource, priest. Even the most bizarre creatures possess attributes that we can use to our advantage. With Bloodwatch under constant assault from the Sunhawks, we are looking to a variety of natural defenses, including traps. The Lasher's thorny vines are perfectly suited to the construction of the traps that I have in mind. The combination of sharp spines and deadly toxin will fell unwary attackers. Bring me the vines of mutated constrictors so that I can begin my work. The bare necessities. Lol. As I am sure that you have seen in your time on Bloodmist Isle, very little remains unchanged by our arrival. My training and experience has taught me that even the products of an environment like this one can be put to use. With so few resources, we must rely on our ingenuity to provide for us. I have been supplementing our stores with meat from the bears that wander this island. With the proper preparation, it can safely be eaten. If you are going to be out in the field, why not help replenish our stocks?
May your days be long, and your...
Oh, sure, yeah, I'll go help replenish. I'll go attack a whole bunch of bloodthirsty bears for you.
May the light embrace you.
Did you know that mushroom hunting is far more dangerous than mushroom consumption? Mushroom hunters expose themselves to many unknowns, not including potential wildlife dangers. What would life be without a little danger? I am in need of mushrooms for my collection. Scattered throughout these unexplored wilds, you will find 4 different types: an aquatic stinkhorn, a blood mushroom, a runous polyspore, and a fell-cone fungus. They are each unique to various regions in Bloodmist. Bring them to me. Sure.
Safe journey.
Sure, I'll bring you your shrooms. What shrooms? How dare you insinuate such a thing? Sorry.
What's on your mind?
Babysitting! Would you believe it? They pulled me out of a promising dig and sent me along with Captain Odysseus' expedition to babysit that little gnome. I've never heard a gnome wanting to become a prospector before, so I asked. It seems that we are taking gnomes now, and this particular one has a fascination with murlocs. Well, he's gone off and set up a shop in an old turtle shell on the northern shore of the island. Go and have a look if you don't believe me. Oh, I believe you. Just wait till you guys see this little gnome friend over there. But first, the Triumvirate of the Hand. Hey, it's Boros. You know Boros, right? He becomes a relevant character later on, including in Legion.
Arcanon Poros.
The Exodars crashed, scattered pieces of fouled crystals all over Blood Mist Isle, corrupting the water and the landscape. We have even begun finding pieces of the crystals inside the flesh of animals taken for meat. I have uncovered a way to purify the shard and turn them into functional crystals, so if you bring me enough shards, I'll trade one of my completed crystals for them. So far I have found the shards in the bodies of bears, ravagers, flutterers, and treants inhabiting the corrupted part of the island. Okay.
Dionys Aka.
Good fortune.
We have learned much of our enemies in recent days. The Blood Elves are led by a being known as Sironus and plot to destroy us. Ultimately, they seek to enslave Oros and regain control of the Exodar. Light be praised, we have stopped their supply line by destroying the Sun Gate. Unfortunately, they continue to use the contaminant of the Vector Coil to poison the land, using the mutagenic properties of the fallout to their advantage. With this knowledge, Admentius has devised a plan. Seek him out.
Blessings upon your family.
You know who I wish was here? Murad. I liked Murad.
Each day is a blessing.
I'm glad that he got his spotlight in Warlords. It's one of the things I liked about Warlords was Murad's presence in that expansion. I thought he was pretty awesome in Warlords. Harbinger Mikolas has done a commendable job of safeguarding Bloodwatch Priest, but our enemies are many and our resources are few. Our weakness is well known to our enemies, but your contact with the forces of the Alliance is something that they haven't accounted for. I have prepared a letter of introduction to the people of Aberdeen, the closest Alliance settlement, proposing cooperation in the fight against our foes. Take it with you and seek out Huntress Kellan Nightbow near the docks west of the Exodar.
Remember the
There
lessons.
you go, another way we are going to try and connect. By the way, take note, they have a captured Sunghawk agent in there as a prisoner. Harbinger?
The Naru have not forgotten us.
If you only learn one thing during your time in Bloodmist, Priest, I hope that it is vigilance. This island claims the unwary first, and then begins to wear down even the most guarded of warriors. Everywhere you turn, a foe stands ready to take your life. Welcome to Bloodwatch, Priest. Seeing to the defenses of the outpost is my primary concern, but I have also been tasked with the variety of other duties by our leaders at the Exodar. The problem is that it's hardly safe to send out large amounts of researchers when the island is this dangerous. I need someone to gather a series of crystal samples from various sites on the island. The first sample I need must come from the Ravager-infested ship debris south of the town and across the bridge. The Hand of Argus has established a forward base at Vindicator's Rest, but they are sorely outnumbered by both the Blood Elves and mutated wildlife. Without backup, their outpost is in danger of falling, and we'd have no way to keep an eye on events near the Vector Coil. Report to Scout Dorlil at Vindicator's Rest to the northwest and offer her your assistance, Miala.
Good health, long
Blessings
life.
upon you.
Exarch? What does Argus mean to you, Miala? Many Draenei probably do not even know or remember our home planet. It is there that we split from the Manari, the twisted demonic reflections of ourselves that were gifted by Sargeras, or as they call themselves, Eredar. Eredar. This word once held meaning. Ugh. Disgusting. Let us not waste any more time. Find Vindicator Boros to begin your training.
Favor the road traveled by.
I am in need of your services, Miala. I have a plan to topple the entire Sunhawk army, but before we can progress, we need to gather some vital information. We need to identify the weaknesses in their primary defense. Unfortunately, we have been unable to get close enough to the Vector Coil to gouge the defenses. If we could get the prisoner to talk, we could get the information that we needed to break through the line and destroy the vector coil. You heard me. I want to blow the damned thing up. Our attempts at interrogation have failed miserably. Torture is, of course, out of the question. What we need is a Draenei on the inside. I can cast a spell on you that would make you appear Blood Elf and adjust your language. Through subterfuge, we may be able to get the information that we need out of the captured agent. Under disguise, I want you to get whatever information that you can out of the prisoner. Oh, and Miela, do not leave Bloodwatch while disguised, as the spell will fail. Okay, then.
Do not lose faith.
Look at me. They'll never notice. That's a pretty good spell. Alright, let's go, None of these are being tracked. I will say thank you to the person who said just hold shift and then left click on each of these, and I'll just go ahead and start tracking them. I forget who it was, but thank you. But I know one of you did, so thank you for that. So now, let's head on inside and be like, oh no, I've been taken prisoner by the Draenei. Apparently we all have been taken prisoner. He eyes you suspiciously. I've never seen you before. Who are you? Ignore that. That's the other players just speeding through all this and not reading the dialogue. I'm a prisoner. What does it look like? The Draenei filth captured me as I exited the Sun Gate. They killed our portal controllers and destroyed the gate. The Sun King will be most displeased with this turn of events. Don't worry, New Blood. There are many more portal controllers and many more suitable locations for portals. I'm certain that Seronis will have a new gate up very soon. These blue-skinned dogs are not long for this world. Seronis and the Abomination will clean up whatever the Sunhawk forces leave behind. Ah, yes, Seronis. I had nearly forgotten that Seronis was here. I served under Seronis back on Outland. I hadn't heard of this Abomination, though. Those damnable Draenei captured me before I even fully materialized on this world. It was Seronis' idea. The Abomination is actually one of their own. He is a high-ranking member of the Draenei military order, triumvirate or some such nonsense, whatever that thing is. It's massive, powerful, and full of rage. Any attacks against the Vector Coil will most certainly result in failure as long as that Abomination is around. Incredible. How did Seronis accomplish such a thing? Seronis claims that certain Eridar possess the ability to transform others of their race into Minari. The Draenei were supposedly once Eridar, and Seronis is a powerful Eridar. Can you believe it? These pathetic creatures were once all-powerful demons. What kind of fool rejects such power? Seronis is an Eridar. I mean, yes, obviously. Obviously, how else could she infiltrate their ranks and pass as a Draenei? She has been living among them for a very long time. The Vector Coil is massive. I hope we have more than one Abomination guarding the numerous weak points. Numerous? It has 2 weak points. The base of the structure on the west side and the base of the structure on the east side. Hey, wait a minute. How would you know anything about the Vector Coil? Didn't you say that you were captured before you even materialized? I did, and you believed me. Thank you for the information, Blood Elf. You have helped us more than you could know. Treacherous whelp! Seronis will destroy you and your people. Thank you for the info. Ignore all that. That's not supposed to happen just yet.
May the light embrace.
Ha! Well done, Miela. Well done, indeed. Are you ready to eradicate the Blood Elf menace from our island forever? Actually, I'm going to hold off on that, because that seems to be like, if he's like referring to the final quest here. Obviously, we have some other things to do before we do that. Ignore the fact that Velen's right there. Ignore all that. That's not supposed to happen just yet.
Krona Kai Christor.
Ah, Miela, I have heard about you. You're the one that made the castle run in under 15 minutes, right? No, it was 12? It was under 12. Yes, 15 minutes. It wasn't 12. I'm not as good as the Millennium Falcon. But probably not. Are you ready to spill some blood in the name of the light? For Velen? For Argus? I'll slow down. Bloodwatch is one of 2 forward bases operated by the Hand of Argus. You have already been to the other base, Azure Watch. Things are completely different in Bloodmist. When we first got here, the land was as beautiful as Azure Mist. We even called it Silvergale, but now sickness is spreading across the land. Worse yet, the Blood Elves that we were battling on the Exodar survived the crash. This brings me to your assignment. Venture northwest into Bladewood and terminate any Blood Elves that you find.
Do not lose faith.
Well, that sounds pretty straightforward. So look at the, like, all the different directions of all these different quests that we just picked up here. Quite a bit, right? Yeah, that is another portion of this, so we'll get to that in a bit. Let's go ahead and try and do this for the moment. Learning from the crystals. I love that little, like when you activate Shadow Form, you then hear those little whispers in the background. It's, yes, Lord Nazoth, yes. Yes, I will serve you and kill them all in your name, yes. What's... Oh, you don't want me to kill them? You want me to corrupt them and enslave them to your will? Yes, Lord Nazoth. No, sorry. Okay. Go. Okay. Will you go away? I love the ting, you know, the sound effect of you actually like mining something with a pickaxe. Just a nice little touch. Huh. Times like this is when I wish I was either playing a shaman or a death knight and be like, oh, who cares about water? Oh, apparently that's an invalid target. Scouts, huh? Okay. Huh. So apparently that's an invalid target. That's also an invalid target. Oh, there's the scouts. Okay. So they are literally called scouts. Gotcha. Tag them and I don't even have to, like, fight them. It's like I tag them and then I can just move on. That's nice. There we go. That's 6. I suppose I should be on the lookout for the mushrooms. Oh, in fact, there's one right now. Falcon fungus. Days. Days. I hate days. Okay. Well, hello there. Signs of the Legion. The armor scrap is forged from a deep black metal that seems to absorb light. Although it doesn't appear to be enchanted, there is an unmistakable sense of wrongness about it. Such armor is only used by one force, the Burning Legion. The Legion's presence here can only mean that they are intending to mobilize the island's satyr against the Draenei. Take action against the local satyr, and then return to Bloodwatch and show this armor scrap to Vindicator Alacia.
It's too far away.
Okay. Ah, so now we have to come here and actually slay more of these satyrs now. See, now we have the quest to actually go kill these satyrs. Since apparently they're going to be working alongside Legion. Oh, and hey, I got Psychic Screen now.
I don't have a target.
So in case I get ganked up like that again, I can just be able to be like, fear! Like this. Fear me. Kill some satyrs and some fellsworn. There's a blood mushroom.
I'm out of range.
I am out of range. Shame those guys don't count. Hey, there's the Fellsworn. One more of these guys. Alright. Now I just need the Fellsworn. Like this guy.
I need a target.
Alright. 9 of 10 crystal shards. Alright. Okay. One more Fellsworn. Plenty of regular satyrs, but not seeing more Fellsworn. Ah, there's one. Alright, now, whoops, wrong button. Let's head around over here to the cryocore. Take down these constrictors to get the lines from them.
I don't have a target. I need to get closer.
Oh, great. It's one of those, hey, keep killing them until the stuff eventually drops. Don't you just love quests like that? Shame we don't have Powered Fortitude yet. Alright. he is. His journal. As I watched as they beat him without mercy, the ruthless lieutenant acted as if such cruelty was an act of normalcy. Through the savage beatings, I could feel myself breaking. As I watched Vindicator Sauruan take their blows, I began to weep, not out of fear. I wept out of sadness. To see a Draenei of the Triumvirate treated in such a manner. If only I could have broken free of my bonds. If only. After what seemed an eternity, the Vindicator lost consciousness. The torture was too much even for him. The cruel one, Mattis, as I found out he was called, attempted to wake Sauruan by splashing contagion-laced water across his ravaged body. But Sauruan did not wake. I wanted to scream, but only a low gasp escaped my lips. I was promptly beaten for this act of rebellion. As I lay on the ground, I could see Mattis pacing in front of Sauruan's body. He seemed visibly concerned. He stated that Sironis or Sirona, or some such entity, would have his flesh flayed from his bones, if Sauruan had perished in the beatings. That the Sironis entity had plans for Sauruan. The writing stops abruptly and a long line scrolls off the page. This Draenei died while making this entry. The corpse appears to be dressed in the manner of an Exodar technician, but the pendant described by More is absent. You have no means of identifying the corpse as Galleon, or Galen, however you pronounce it, with the information More gave you, but the clothing appears to have been torn in search of valuables. The Blood Elves in the area would have claimed anything of value from the wreckage, including Galen's jeweled amulet. Although her husband did not survive the crash, you believe that More would be grateful if you recovered her husband's amulet from the Blood Elves. Yup. More, is that you? No, you're not More, but I sense that you have met. When you see her, tell her that I survived the crash, only to be done in by the infiltrators. Let her know that my last thought was of her. Wow. Oh, that's so sad. But, yeah. It's better that she know that he died, as opposed to her never finding out. Just start dotting all of them. Be like, hey, hey, hey. One of you's got it, right? Give it to me. Give it to me. The power of the void, I command you. There it is. Okay. Now here comes the fun part. These are a couple of quests that, yeah. When quest items are not guaranteed drops from these, so just keep killing them until they eventually drop. Does that sound familiar to any of you? Hi, could you go get me 10 bear asses? You all know what I'm talking about.
It's too far away.
There's one. I also have to keep a lookout for those constrictors over there for the vines. But I will say, this is going to be a great way to be able to continue to get XP. At this rate, we may even hit 20 by the end of this video. Especially if I just go turn in a bunch of the quests, and all of a sudden just boom, 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 huge XP from just turning in all these quests. And the best part is when other players have been here, and then you're like, oh my gosh, where are they? And you have to wait for them to respawn because other players have been killing them for this quest. That's the best. Oh, and it's even better when they have low respawn rates. Now, I've heard some people make an argument about that they like the low respawn rates because it's supposed to give you some sense of accomplishment or something, and, you know, immersion or whatever, and I'm just like, yeah, this, I get what you're saying, but this may not be, like, the best choice for this. Plus, the thing about immersion is that it's very subjective. We all have our own ways to be able to immerse ourselves in games. Various different games, we can immerse ourselves in various ways in our own personal ways. How I choose to immerse myself in this game or a game like Elder Scrolls is vastly different compared to how somebody else would immerse themselves. And I know this because of the various different ways I've heard people talk about games like Skyrim, for example. How I enjoy and immerse myself in a game like Skyrim is very different from how others do.
I need to target something.
Like, there are plenty of people I know that would make that, but then there are also plenty of people I know that they have never, like, bothered to read any of the quest text or anything in this game. And there are still plenty of people that know nothing about the lore in this game. And I don't know about you, but being able to, like, read all this stuff gets me, like, more, like, you know, involved. It actually makes me care more. You know, like reading the text about that quest that we just did about Galen, you know, and his wife. That's emotional. That is a sad quest line. But I was motivated to find him and be able to, like, give her that peace of mind to know whether or not her husband is either dead or still alive out there. And be able to find that amulet and bring it back to her and let her know, you know, what his ultimate fate is, but that his final thoughts were of her. That's great. I love that. And that's a way I can be able to immerse myself in this. It's not the best kind of way, and it's not a way that other people will do it, but it's my own personal way. What in the world is a max level rogue doing here? There are times where I can be like, I can kind of put two and two together, like earlier when I was making the video about the Dwarven Heritage Armor. Seeing a max level dwarf in, you know, Loch Modan, I mean, I'm sure someone can put two and two together. That's an easy way to explain why a max level dwarf character would be there. But, I mean, he's max level, so unless he's, like, doing the quest sync thing, the party sync thing with a friend of his, which I didn't really see if there was someone he was paired up with, but, I mean, that thing can reduce your level, so I guess that could be the explanation. Otherwise, I have no idea why he would even be here. I'm starting to get a little high up on bag space here.
I'm out of range.
Alright, this should get me to the next level. Level 19. There we go. There's another vine. There's another constrictor over here.
I need to get closer.
Oh, sorry. This mage is like, quit killing them before I can tag them. I'm sorry. I didn't see you. Oh, nope. Don't need to deal with that. I think we're both doing the same quest. We're looking for the constrictors and the bears. Now, there is, of course, other ones here. I think the Talk to the Hand one is part of that. Let me just double check. Yeah. Report to the scout at Vindicator's Rest. Yeah. Gonna try and hold off on that. I'm pretty sure that has to do with the final quest line, but then again, we could have also picked up the quest over there from the Exarch who's like, hey, are you ready to finish them off? And I'm like, no, I haven't done all the other things yet. But then again, this game will like acknowledge what your level is as opposed to your progress in the quest line. At least, in this situation here, so. It's kind of a strange, unique case. There are times it absolutely will acknowledge where you are in the quest line before it just kind of sends you to the last step or something like that. But there are times in a situation like this where it can be like, oh, you're at this level. You can do this now. Okay. Eggs are starting to get a little food. This is why I want to get to 20, so I can be able to actually, like, use this to clear up my bags. That's one of the things I always do, and why I loved getting this mount was to be able to clear out my bag space, do repairs, and transmog on the fly. Can't use that vine. We're getting near the area where the gnome is. Bunch of other stuff, but not the quest item.
It's too far away.
Alright, 4, 6. Let's go meet this gnome while we're at it though. Let's just go here and let me show you where this guy stays right now. It's the shell of a dead turtle. And he's just made himself at home. Clopper Whizbang of the Explorers League. Cozy.
Hey!
Shh! Be very quiet. I'm observing murlocs. I'm living in an oversized turtle shell. Is a sacrifice that I am willing to make for science. After all, if the murlocs see me here, they'll react to my presence and contaminate my data. As the first gnomish member of the Explorers League, I am boldly going places no dwarf has gone before. I thought so. That grumpy old dwarf was supposed to help me carry my equipment and gather data, but all he does is sit in that strange Draenei town drinking himself into a stupor. Shh! Keep your voice down and don't call attention to me. If the murlocs detect my presence, the experiment will be ruined. I've already come perilously close to contaminating my data. While I was foraging yesterday, one of them must have wandered too close and discovered my camp. I returned just in time to see two of them carrying off a crate with most of my equipment. It's bound to be in one of those settlements around here, but I can't risk revealing my presence. Are you willing to help? My observations and writings about the black slit murlocs are quite illuminating, Mia, but they are just the beginning. I plan to return to Ironforge with items produced by the black slit's rudimentary crafting skills. The problem is that the black slit carry these items with them at all times, and I can't have their blood on my conscience. If you're willing to help me gather the idols carried by black slit seers and crude knives of the black slit warriors and sword strikers, I won't ask how you came by them.
Off and away!
I need to get closer. I don't have a target.
Hold on a second. Now, where could his equipment be? Do you have it?
I'm out of range. I need a target.
Oh, there's another idol. Where is his crate?
It's too far away.
It's bound to be in one of their settlements. I'm not seeing it. I'm trying to remember where this is supposed to be. Yeah, I know. Oh my, wait, no, this... Nope, it's just a food crate. Oh, there's Deathclaw. Like, well, what do you know? I'm gonna bring the bear over here. There we go. That way we both got credit. Now if I could just figure out where this crate is. Did they hide it in this other turtle? No. Why do I have the feeling the crate is over there and the mini-map is basically lying to me? There it is. Oh my gosh, the mini-map was lying to me. There are times in this game where the mini-map will blatantly lie to you about the location of something. My goodness. Okay, look, pal.
My, you're
Okay,
a
first off, let me use you to actually clear out some of the stuff in my inventory. Okay.
Alrighty.
Next, I found your supplies. Oh, this is fantastic! The theft of my equipment has given me more insight into the nature of these murlocs than I could have possibly gained in weeks of observations. I know what I'm going to say in my report already. When faced with the products of a technologically superior culture, the Black Slit display none of the curiosity characteristic of emerging cultures and humanoid species. It's brilliant! The gentlemen in Ironforge are going to love it! I can't thank you enough, Miala. By the way, this is yet another way that word about the Draenei reach the Alliance, since he's going to be telling Ironforge all about us. Okay. Okay. I don't need the sears. I need the knives from the warriors and shore killers, or shore stalkers, or whatever they're called. The shore strikers. I was wrong both times. The shore what's-its. The shore something. And he is way out. Under the sea. Under the sea.
I need to get closer.
Go. Just one more. That's a seer. Ah! I still tacked it. Whatever. Die. Sound like the alien from Independence Day. Die.
I need to target something first.
There we go. Ah, He gave me powered fortitude because he's also a higher level priest. Thank you.
Can I help you?
Astounding! Simply astounding! These are perfect, Miala. I can already see them under the glass in the Museum of Ironforge. The text for the display is virtually writing itself in my head. Your help has been invaluable in getting my studies back on track. How do you spell your name? I'll make sure that it appears in my report as co-author. One of the chaps on the ship gave me this treasure map to cover a gambling debt, but mythology isn't my area of study. Superstitious lot sailors.
You have a great day now.
The crudely drawn map reveals nothing of its maker, but it appears to have been drawn with an unsteady hand. Wavering lines and symbols depict a small pavilion with broken columns located to the west of a partially submerged tower. If the map is to be believed, this cluster of ruins appears to be located on the eastern coast of the island. You have no idea what you'll find, but it was important enough for the map's creator to record. Interesting. Alright, back to hunting down bears. There's one right there.
It's too far away.
Come on. Drop the flanks and I'll stop killing you. Why'd the bears on Bloodmist go extinct? Because we had to keep killing them until they actually dropped the flanks. You killed all the bears. Look, they wouldn't drop the things that you asked me to collect. What was I supposed to do? Hey! Alright. So I'm done with the bears. Now I just need to get the vines from the constrictors. Why is that? See, here's also now the problem. You notice what he did there, right? Now what if I was trying... Oh gosh, there he is. Now what if I'm trying to actually complete this quest and he just goes around just killing everything? Now, this kind of thing can happen sometimes when someone of the opposing faction does it, because they're just trying to make other players just kind of like, you know, not have fun. Because believe it or not, there are terrible people out there that will actually get enjoyment from ruining someone's experience and day. But there are also people who would do that even if they're on the same faction. They don't care about the faction, they just enjoy ruining the playing experience of other players. Sadly, it's a very real thing. Just need one more vine from the constrictors. Here's one. There it is. Alright. Now let's head back over to the wreck and take down those Sunhawk spies. And that's where the map leads. Interesting. NPCs are just going around killing everything.
The Naru have not.
Just a reminder, the Sunhawks here, these are not the Blood Elves from Silver Moon. These are the Blood Elves who are following Kael'thas, who in turn are following the Burning Legion. I just really want to help make that distinction very, very clear. Because you can obviously, you know, see how some Alliance players would see this and just immediately think, ah, see the Horde is being evil. Because Blizzard just has this tendency to make things look a certain way towards players of a certain faction to try and stir up crap in order to push forward the whole, you know, faction war garbage that I absolutely hate and detest and can't stand. Hey, we hit level 20. Void Eruption. No. Right. Yes, yes. The quest to learn how to ride. In fact, let's go ahead and take a break from doing these other quests and turn these in. And while we're at it, we're going to have to fly over down here, back towards the area outside the Exodar, in order to be able to do that so I can finally be able to use some of these mounts. Including my yak over here. So let's go ahead and start turning some of these in.
Krona Kai Christor.
Have you gathered crystal shards from the creatures of Blood Mist? Well done. These will provide the raw materials for another batch of enhancement crystals. You're welcome to choose from among the 3 kinds of crystals that I can make. I find each of them useful for stalking different kinds of prey. Crystal of Insight. You have returned. And in one piece. I have some good news, Miala. We have received some new information about the possible location of more survivors. A new crash site has been discovered. When I am done attending to those matters, I will call for you.
May your
I'll pick that
days
up
be long
later.
and your hardships few.
There's someone I need to deliver an amulet to.
Greetings, friend.
Did the device work? Have you marked the Murlocs for my research? Well done, Miala. I was worried that the marking device might malfunction, but it seems like everything went according to plan.
May your days be long and your hardships few.
Actually, let's, yeah. Blood Mist Isle was forever changed by our arrival. The Exodar's crash scattered debris all over the islands, and I think it's beginning to have an adverse effect on the wildlife. Before I can be certain of my conclusion, I'll need to get a closer look. The crystals seem to have affected the trees the fastest, so it seems that the treants would be the most likely to show symptoms. If you bring me samples of bark from corrupted treants, I can begin my in-depth studies.
Seek the path of the light.
Moray? Did your search turn up any trace of Galen? So, he's... I guess I knew on some level, but just wouldn't let myself believe it. It's not the news that I was hoping for, but you have my deepest thanks for finding Galen.
Remain vigilant.
I'm sorry, Moray.
Good fortune.
Yes, priest? What is it you have there? Oh, you've done well in bringing this to me, Miala. This is without a doubt an armor fragment from a fell god. Then it is as I feared. The Nazavus Satyr are renewing their contacts with the Burning Legion. If we don't stop them, the Satyrs and their demonic allies will overrun us. I will notify Harbinger Mikolas right away. Were you successful in obtaining knowledge of the Nazavus Satyr? Well done, Miala. Let me see what I can learn from this glyph, so we can plan our next move.
Do not lose faith.
These pictographs tell a story. This figure at the beginning almost looks like one of the creatures that we encountered at Azure Watch. No, this can't be. It says this creature willingly became a servant of the Legion. He transforms into a satyr and receives the Legion's blessing. We must defeat these satyr, Miala. We will not suffer the Legion's presence in these lands. Yeah, it's a bit too late for
The
that.
Naru.
But they don't know that. Now that we have made our presence known to the Satyr, we must send a message that we will not tolerate the Burning Legion's hounds in these lands. Too long have the Draenei fled in the wake of the Legion and its minions, Miala. Wherever they have found us, they have shown no mercy. We must not permit the Satyr to exploit the Exodar's crash and use the corrupted crystals as weapons. Go north to where their leader resides in Axarian, destroy him, and we recover the corrupted crystals that he has been gathering.
Be well.
Open your heart to the light.
Did you manage to get the constructor vines? Ah, these seem sturdy enough to do the job. Thank you for your help, Miala. Your contribution to Bloodwatch's defense will not be forgotten. Ah, this will keep us supplied for quite a while, and preparing it for consumption will certainly keep you busy. Thank you for your help, Miala. When we first encountered flutters, they showed few signs of mutation. As the corruption got progressively worse, the moths and other species began to show signs of contamination. It has progressed to the point where they damage nearly everything that they come in contact with. They're amplifying the damage to be done by the crystal shards scattered by the Exodar's crash. We have no choice but to begin culling their population in the lands north of Bloodwatch.
Be kind to those less fortunate.
Okay. And then there's another to turn in up here.
Good fortune.
Well done. From what I heard, it couldn't have been easy. You've been an easy fight. You have more than earned the reward. 22, just like that, hit 22. You see how quickly you can level with this boost? Just like that, I got Powered Fortitude and Purify Disease. This crystal shard will give our researchers a baseline to compare against samples from other parts of the island. Since it comes from one of the Blood Mist's less corrupted regions, it won't be able to send it off until we have a full set of samples. But this is a great start. If you're willing to help gather the other samples, I'll see to it that you are rewarded for your efforts. As we have gotten ourselves established here at Bloodwatch, I have been sending out survey teams to create more... Actually, you know what? I'm going to hold off on more quests from these two guys, since these are two of the main guys here, like also with Boros over there. Because I'm wanting to kind of hold off on the main quest line and such in this area, in terms of, like, triggering, like, the end of it, So I'm going to head on over to the Exodar, unlock writing... the writing skill, and we'll probably then be making our way in this direction over towards Wormscar Island for something interesting over there. Stay tuned.